I'm laid down,
Yeah.
and it's literally coming towards me and my rifle, and I'm panicking.
Yeah.
I'm dying. Inside, I'm dying. Every inch of my body is wanting to just get the fuck up and run 100 mile away. But I'm making fucking strange noises.
Well, it's good. It's good training, because what happens if you're engaged in conflict in Afghanistan and one of those great big fucking camel spiders comes at you, and if you speak or make noises, you're going to give away the position, and your troop's dead.
Worth it. I mean, not. No, wait.
Let me finish. Ey'up and Nah Then, welcome to the Hangout with Adam and Matt. I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
New podcast where a couple of blokes in the early 30s are just going to ramble like old men. We've even got newspapers here for a later segment. So this is our first episode.
Yes.
I think we're going to be doing it in series.
Yeah.
So we're going to do so many, then have a break, obviously, and then do it in series. We're going to talk about different things. We're going to make it a subject per episode sort of thing. So what are we going to talk about this first one?
So it's more of a letting you guys know about us. It's a bit of a, we're going to introduce ourselves, get to know us a little bit. We're not going to tell you our deep, dark secrets.
Maybe we will.
Depends. We'll see.
See where it goes.
But it's just about, let's just talk about us.
Yeah.
We've been friends for 20 years.
20 years.
20 years we've known each other. We've seen a bit too much of each other.
I've seen too much of you, my friend.
So, it's just about letting these guys know about us, a bit of background about us.
Okay.
Before we go on to our subjects of each episode.
Okay. So, it literally is 20 years we've been friends.
Literally.
20 years this year. God. I mean, we're past friendship, aren't we? I think we've been on like a brother's level for probably like the last 15 of those 20 years, to be honest.
Exactly. I don't class you as a friend.
No, it's family now,
We're
isn't
brothers.
It? Like, there's people you're friends with, you have acquaintances, you have people...
Work friends.
Yeah, especially in the industry I do my night job as a singer and stuff. You get a lot of people that you meet on the fly and stuff, and people you might speak to every now and again. And there's a very big difference between those sort of people and people that are literally like family like we are.
Yeah.
Which is so weird because we met in like such a random way as well.
Yes.
Like
yeah, I remember being invited. I'd only lived in the area. I'd sort of born here, but we moved away, parents separated and stuff. So we moved around a bit. And then when I finally come back to the same street I began, may I ask?
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, my first...
20 years of friendship, I didn't know that.
Did you not? Oh my God.
That.
Yeah, no, literally. The street is where I grew up, was where I was born.
I didn't know that.
And then we came back, and that's where our friendship bloomed.
Yeah.
From me coming back home.
Weird. I think it's funny as well because we didn't even go to the same school.
No.
Out of all the friends you have at school and stuff like that, we didn't even go to the same school.
No, you went to Valet.
Yeah.
And I went to Portland.
Yeah. I went to Portland for year 7, but you weren't there for year 7.
No, I went in year 8 because originally I was Retford Oaks for a year.
Yeah.
And I started my year 8 at Retford Oaks, and then it was just too much. I was having to catch the bloody train every day, and it was just too much. I remember if I missed my train, my tea was cold, waiting for me on the side. And I had to eat it cold, not even warmed up. Like, bro, we live in the fucking 21st century. I don't live in the 1800s. We have a fucking microwave and I wasn't allowed to use it. I was eating cold beans on toast.
Fucking hell, man.
I mean, I like soggy toast, but not when it's fucking cold beans on top.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, horrible. Like child abuse.
Fucking hell. So, but yeah, it was basically through football, weren't it? Like just playing football. There's a few different groups of friends that we'd play football with, and we were 11.
Yeah.
So just starting secondary school, that sort of thing. I think it was just the end of the year. Summer, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was summer like 2004.
Yes.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, 2004.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Yeah. And we're playing football, and I don't know where you came from. I don't know how you came to play
what I remember this lad, and it was actually my stepbrother who knew this lad, and I don't know how they knew each other, beyond me. But anyway, there was on about. He said, "Oh, ask your brother, me, if I wanted to go play football." There were a couple of lads that were going to hang around on Macefield Way, or
the little pitch.
The little pitch, and they said basically, "Yeah, come down. We're going to play some football." There's a couple of lads going down there and stuff, and yeah, we started playing football. 5, 6 aside.
We used to have some really competitive matches as well, didn't we? Like they used to get like, we were keeping score and we were like tacticians at times. But like, it's funny because were you ever like playing out on the street or something, like kicking a ball and then someone? Because I know a few of them lived up your way, or whatever.
Yeah,
maybe it happened like that. But and then so we played together, and I don't remember the first ever
interaction.
Not the first ever. I think we played football before we even spoke to each other.
No, it was literally, that was the first day.
Yeah.
So I remember on the first day was playing, and at this time there was no sign saying no ball games. So
there might have been.
No, it definitely wasn't. No, it got put on afterwards because
we played around it.
Horrible.
It was in the middle.
Old man.
Yeah.
Old man come out, kicking and fucking screaming. Ball's gone nowhere near his house, but he's got arse on because a bunch of kids, youths.
We were good kids as well. We didn't like kick balls at cars and stuff like that. We weren't one of them.
No, and this proves it because he obviously came out being an arsehole. And a lot of the other lads started then going to harass him.
Yeah.
And I remember we just sat down.
Yeah.
We sat down. We got a bit pissed off because we was enjoying playing football.
Yeah.
And everyone just fucking left. So we just sat down, and it was a little bit awkward because we've been playing football, but we'd not even spoke. I don't even think we asked to pass the ball to each other because I feel like we weren't even on the same team.
No, I don't think we were actually.
And then I remember we just sat down, pissed off, and I think there was me, you, and your brother Alex.
Yeah.
And I think that was it, or did Tyler?
I think Tyler was there as well.
I think he sat down as well.
Yeah.
And literally, again, not said anything, and you know where I'm going with this.
I do.
So Alex then goes, "Oh, I need a wee," and you're like, "I just want to piss on tree. Just want to piss on tree. Yeah. You're fine.
Go behind a tree. Can you go behind a tree?
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you go behind a tree physically? Is there a front and back of a tree?
Yes.
It's just the other side to where you are, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, he goes trotting over, the little short, fat man he was at the time, and decides to piss on the tree. I just remember we were just taking the piss.
Just sort of turned around like, "Where's he gone?
Where's he gone?"
Yeah.
Then we was like, "Alex."
It had not quite gone out of view.
No, not quite.
It's gone the opposite side of the tree, but not all the way around, so we could see him.
So, and then we just then started taking a piss out of his little wiener.
And he reminded me, as you brought it up in my wedding speech, the best man speech at my wedding, he reminded us that he was 7 years old. So
yes. But in context, we was also 11.
Yeah.
There's no fucking Nancy business going on here.
Yeah, we went last week.
Let's just put it out there. So, and I think that's how we just started laughing with each other. And then we just like...
I was from there, and I was like, "Oh, so where do you live then?"
Yeah.
Well, I think you might have come actually round to the house at some point. And then it was just like, there was a field behind my old house, and we just used to play on there, didn't we?
Crawl under conifers.
Crawl under the conifers. We had a fence put in at one point, and we used to lift the panel up.
Yeah.
And I remember some lads from school came at one point. There was you as well. I think he was there. And then like a group of others. There's maybe like 20 people together, and they're walking through my mum's house.
Yeah.
All to get through that way. It was really funny.
Mum just stood at the door going 1, 2, 3, 4, grabbing a bottle of cherry aid on way past.
Yeah. And,
those were the days, mate.
They were.
Honestly, take me back. Crawling under those conifers. And this isn't the first time that we decided to come on camera. If you remember, we decided to film.
Oh, God, yeah.
Us playing football.
Yeah.
And I remember playing in your back garden and was filming like a comedy sketch kind of thing, and was taking the mick out of footballers that just roll around after they've been tackled.
Diving, yeah.
And I reckon you still got that footage of it somewhere.
Oh.
I'm sure it was either you or Alex, maybe. Someone has got footage of it somewhere. But we just thought we were like jackass.
Yeah, that must be about 18 years ago.
Yes.
I remember doing it because I remember Alex's dive.
If you could call it a dive.
It looked like he'd been shot.
Jesus.
Funny.
Fucking hell.
But then it weren't. I mean, we played football like every day, didn't we?
Literally every day.
Every day. But then sometimes we'd throw in a different thing.
Yeah, we'd go on bikes.
Yeah.
Go for a bike ride.
I feel like we might be taking the piss out of Alex a bit too much on this podcast already. But do you remember when we got?
Oh my God.
He was on his bike, and again, he must have been 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And we used to ride through like the woods and stuff up to a place called Osberton.
Yeah.
And he fell off his bike every single time.
Yeah.
Every time he fell off his bike. And this one time we went up and we were like well ahead, but not too far that we couldn't see him sort of thing because it's just like a long path. We got into Osberton and as we got there into the little village,
yeah,
we like stopped and we turned around and he's pedaling away and he's like, look guys, I haven't fell off. Crash.
Right at the end.
Like on the gravel. Skidded like 20 feet down the gravel path.
God.
Oh my
Straight
God.
into nettles and all.
Oh my God.
Just so fucking brilliant.
It done. I mean, what is it, about a mile or so?
Yeah.
A couple of miles maybe?
More,
yeah.
maybe. It's just how we were just like, look, guys,
I have done it. I haven't fell off. Crash. Commentator's curse. It's so funny.
Oh, it's oh my God, I can't even speak. It was so funny. So funny.
But yeah, it's that's a long time ago.
It was.
Like we've done countless things since then. I mean, you was with me at my first ever gig that we went to. Nickelback.
Yes, Nickelback.
Blackstone Cherry. 2009. May 2009. I think we just left about time we were leaving school.
Yeah. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was actually about 2 weeks before I joined the army.
It wasn't that long.
It was not long, was it?
No. So that shows actually how much of a pivotal moment that is for both of us because you're just off to go in the army and go off and do that for your career, and that was the night that my life changed and like I'm going to be a fucking musician basically. Yeah. Crazy. I mean, I'd always liked sort of rock music and that, but like that night literally changed my life. I was like, I'm going to be a musician.
Yeah.
On the back of that, and it's crazy that like you were there for it as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I say, of all the things we've done together and been through, that you were like there for that moment. Mm-hmm. Where I don't know if you saw it in my eyes, but like I was like, this has changed me. I came back a different person.
Yeah, I remember because you came back. Like we've always loved music, and like we used to play football, and we'd come back once it was starting to get dark, and we'd flick on Guitar Hero. And we've always sort of loved music, and you always kind of loved to emulate playing guitars and such. But I think that night was the switch up. It was like, this is what I want to fucking do.
Yeah.
Like I want to fucking rock on a stage in front of thousands of people.
That was the moment. It really was like
dick twitching when people are singing my songs back to me.
That's cool. That never gets old. But then, so I've gone on and joined different bands and toured all over the place, and that's awesome fun. But then, like I say, you went to the army, and you've served over in Afghanistan and stuff like that, which makes mine seem really stupid, doesn't it? Like,
no,
it's like it does. Like, oh yeah, I just want to be a fucking rock star and party and get drunk and stuff. And it's like, I'm gonna fucking go and serve.
Go and serve the country.
Yeah.
So
what's that like then? Like, obviously, I was there for like your passing out parade, and stuff like that. And I think I came to pick you up once, when you come back from Afghan, maybe for your R&R at Bryce Norton.
You did Bryce Norton, yeah. You come and because I got off the plane with another friend. And did he jump in the car with us? Did we drop him off?
Yeah, in Derby, I think.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, crazy. When I think about it, I was 16 years old, just left school.
Crazy. It's so young, isn't it? It's like half our life ago.
I did 6 months basic training, passed out from Winchester, went to Blandford to do my trade training. So I was part of the Raw Signals, Scaly Backs for some of you bastards out there. So then I did, talking of time frame, that was February 2010.
10?
that I finished training. So it was August 2009 I joined the army. February 2010 that I left basic training and joined my trade training down in Blandford. I did that for a year, and January 2011 I joined my first field unit, which was 21 SIGs down in Cologne. And yeah, I mean, I was 17 at the time. Obviously, it was a month before my birthday. And I remember just rocking up to this unit because it got mixed up. I was actually supposed to go to 2 SIGs in York. And for some reason, I got told to go to Cologne instead. I had no idea. I thought, like, obviously I'd never experienced military life, didn't know what was going on. Yeah. And I remember rocking up, and when I turned up at the guard room, they had no idea who I was or what I'm doing there.
What?
Like, the communication was disgusting. And I remember, so being a 17-year-old, thinking, what the fuck? I spent the night in a guard room. They had no accommodation for me.
Jesus.
So I had to spend the night in a guard room. And, the next day, they sent me up to the hangars where I was basically meeting my troop. And they then sorted me out accommodation. They got everything sorted out for me. And see, I didn't know anything about this regiment. I knew nothing of what they was doing, what they did on a day-to-day basis. And I remember sitting down with the OC of the troop and just basically introduced myself. Like, so
what's an OC?
It's oh God, you're questioning me now, putting me under pressure. Fuck. Oh my God, it's gone. Anyway, it's basically an officer of a squadron. So in terms of rank structure, you have like your private, or in my case, it was a signaller, lance corporal, sergeant, staff sergeant, or colour sergeant if you was infantry. Then you went on to warrant officer level, and then captain, major, general, all the way to lieutenant. Sorry, before all that. But he was, So we sat down and he just introduced himself. Said, wanted to know about me. It's basically like when you go to a job interview and they say, like, come on, tell me a bit about yourself then. So you're just saying how, my name's Matt, from Worksop. They've played football. This is my hobbies, blah, blah, blah. And I remember he just sat there and he was just like, oh, can I just ask how old you are? And I went, I'm 17. And they were like, what? What? You're 17? I was like, and I was shitting my pants. I'm like, fucking hell, have I said something wrong? Yeah. And he's like, when do you turn 18? We need to know right now. When do you turn 18?
Right.
And I was like, next month. I turn 18 next month. And he looked at me and he was just like, oh, thank God for that. And again, I'm thinking, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck's that reaction?
What's that about?
Yeah.
And he just went, right, so basically, I'm going to cut it short and tell you exactly what's happening right now. You are deploying to Afghanistan in May.
Fucking hell. That's nice.
In May. So, January to May, how many months is that? Where is that?
Depending on the date, like 4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months. Yeah. My arse fell out.
I bet.
Literally. I didn't even, they'd already started training. Some of the lads there, they'd already been in training and stuff. And basically, he was saying, you're going to join lads. You're going to get through training. He was like, don't worry about it. Even though they've already started the training, you'll be fine. You'll catch up. You seem like a bright young person. You'll be fine. You'll be looked after. And I went to Afghan in May, come back November.
And where you was in Kabul, were you?
Yeah, it was in Kabul.
Yeah.
Camp Suta in Kabul.
And what's it like? Like, you see all these films or documentaries, or you see the news people out there, but what's it like? What's it actually like while you're in Afghanistan? Like,
weird.
Are you in the base a lot, or are you like?
So, in terms of my operational tour that I did, it was more of a force protection role.
Yeah.
So with my trade being a radio operator, 9 times out of 10 when a radio operator go on tour, they do a lot of communication systems, like setting up communications and stuff like that, maintaining it, going out on the ground and being the radio operator of a squadron and stuff like that. But our tour was more force protection. So we basically did QRF patrols, which is quick reaction patrols in case of anything kicking off. We did MT details, which is like driving. It's like basically glorified taxiing around the city. And then we did obviously guard duty. So it was protecting the camp that we were staying in and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was a different one. So we obviously had radio systems to use and maintain, and we had other bits and bobs to maintain. But it was actually, looking back, I'm glad it was a force protection tour, because if it was just a radio operator tour, it could have been a lot different. Yeah. But no, it was great. I say great. Shit my pants. Yeah. Obviously, leading up to it, I remember. Of course. I remember ringing my stepmom at the time, ringing her a few days before we deployed, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I cried. Yeah, I cried on the phone. Yeah,
you're 18. You think you're such a man at 18, don't you? Yeah. Like, and then you realise now we're in our early 30s that 18 is just such a baby. Yeah, and you're going off to fucking Afghanistan
to fight a war, and obviously,
it's crazy.
We grew up sort of the back end of. Well, in fact, they're not even the back end. We grew up at the start of the Afghan war. So all you're seeing on TV is this soldier's dead and this soldier's died.
And there was, at the beginning specifically, there was a lot, weren't there?
Yeah, especially in the Helmand province. I mean, in a way, I was fortunate not to be in the Helmand province, because that was where the thick of the action was. Yeah. But yeah, I know. I remember sitting down and just, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. Yeah. Do not want to go. You know, I'm going to die.
Man's afraid of spiders, and he's going to fucking Afghanistan.
Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But funny enough, I'd rather take incoming fire from Taliban than face a spider.
Spiders. Fuck the spiders. I'll take the Taliban on any day.
Literally.
Like Rambo, I'll take them on myself. Just don't give me a fucking spider. And they have spiders over there, don't they?
They have spiders.
They have spiders. Yeah. They have fucking spiders.
They have fucking big spiders.
Yeah, aren't they like bird eaters they have over there, or something similar? No, like they have these great big fucking, the huge big spiders, aren't they?
I think they're called camel spiders.
Yeah.
And they're just fucking honking. I remember literally the first day of us arriving at Camp Suta, and it was like we all sort of paraded and stuff, and was getting told, you know, what's going to go happen from here. We're going to take you to your accommodation and stuff. And I remember just one lad going, "What the fuck is that?" And a massive fucking dead spider. And it was huge. Literally, day fucking one.
How big was it?
Okay, so we're talking legs spread out. Yeah. If it was like flat on the floor, probably about that.
No, fuck that.
No. Not even joking.
No.
Not exaggerating.
No.
A fucking honking piece of kit.
I'd have been back on that fucking plane.
Honestly.
So I'll fight anywhere else. So
this is what we was dealing with from day one. And
you've already got the spiders to deal with.
I've got a funny story to like a military story to do with spiders as well.
Oh, come on.
Right.
Let's hear it.
So when we was in basic training, we used to do something called like a snap ambush. So basically, if you feel like when you're out on a patrol, if you feel like you're being followed, you basically come back on yourself in the wood line. So then hopefully they don't see you do that, and then if they come past you, you then got the opportunity to engage with them or let them pass whatever you want.
Where was it? Where would this be? Like Brecon or something like that?
No, this was Salisbury Plain.
Right.
So it's fucking midnight, so it's pitch black. Obviously, your eyes adjust to the dark when you're out there. And remember, you've got to be as silent as a mouse, because if you give your position away, you could come under enemy attack. Yeah. So... it's making me laugh thinking about it. So I remember just laid there on my belt buckle, and I'm laid there and I'm looking, got my head on top of my rifle, sort of looking and trying to stay quiet. And I could just see this fucking spider crawling towards me. And it wasn't small. In my fucking eyes, it was a giant. But it was big. It was big, all right.
It's Aragog,
literally. And I remember just laying there. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, and I'm making noises. Bear in mind, you need to be silent. Yeah. And all you can hear from me is... and then, you know, all you can hear is, shh, fucking hell, who's that? Shut the fuck up. Me.
Fucking tall.
And then my fucking son just walked over and booted me in the leg. Shut the fuck up, you fucking fucking idiot.
Where was it? Like, are you laid down at this point? Then,
So I'm laid down.
Yeah.
And it's literally coming towards me and my rifle. And I'm panicking.
Yeah.
I'm dying. Inside, I'm dying. Every inch of my body is wanting to just get the fuck up and run 100 mile away. But I'm making fucking strange noises.
Well, it's good. It's good training, because what happens if you're engaged in conflict in Afghanistan and one of those great big fucking camel spiders comes at you, and if you speak or make noises, you're going to give away the position, and your troop's dead.
Worth it. I mean, not. wait,
Let me finish before you say that.
No, obviously not worth it. Before you threw me under the bus there.
Let me finish.
Well, no, that motherfucker's dying. He's getting shot.
Yeah.
Because they are not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
I mean, you must have seen videos of them online where they're literally chasing soldiers.
Yeah. Well, not chasing, but I've seen like the effects of bites that they have, which is brutal.
And in terms of chasing, they're not actually chasing the soldier, they're chasing the shadow, because it's so hot over there. They rely on the shadow.
Are they the ones that bury themselves as well, like in the sand and stuff?
Do they bury themselves? I'm not 100% sure.
But terrifying either
But
way.
they tend to go in like the pipelines, and sewage pipes and open pipes, just to get out of the sun because it's so hot.
Right.
So if they're out in the open and they see obviously a shadow, they go running to the shadow to try and get out of the heat. And it's terrifying.
That's awful.
Luckily, it never happened to me. But it is terrifying, I can imagine.
It's interesting that's where the conversation's gone, talking about Afghanistan, and the most terrifying thing you saw out there was I had 8 legs.
Yes. Yes, I mean, the bits happened out there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just snakes, scorpions, spiders.
And the Taliban.
And the Taliban.
They were there.
And the Taliban. They were there. Definitely there. Seen them once or twice. It's fine, But, yeah. So then obviously leaving the army. So I did the tour of Afghan, then I moved to Germany for a few years and then decided I'd had enough.
Yeah.
I wanted to come home. The army was changing. It was getting all snowflake like today's society. And so then I left and then I worked in security. Worked at Bassett Law Hospital, then I went and worked at a gatehouse in a sandwich factory and then finally settled on working in the prison service.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it kind of... The way my career's kind of gone, it feels like it's been a lot security style.
You can't seem to like to be engaged in conflict, basically.
Yeah. I don't like fighting, honestly, guys.
But between that, we had some interesting times.
We had some very interesting times.
Like when you had a break, you had some R&R from Afghanistan.
Yes. Yes, I did. 2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
And we had like a northern 18-year-old equivalent of a spring break.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yes.
Oh, God, man.
My parents went away.
Yeah.
I had the house to myself. You stayed with me for the full 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And we just fucking partied.
Literally.
Every night.
I don't know how you was in any fit state to go back to Afghanistan, man.
No, and I believe you'd only just turned 18 as well. Only just.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Where do we begin? I mean, you can't drink while you're out there, can you?
No.
So obviously, you'd gone
3 months.
You'd gone 3 months without a drink. I mean, we obviously drank a little bit before we were 18, but so probably your first proper blowout, and especially after doing a good stint in Afghanistan, them 2 weeks were just time to let loose, weren't they?
Yeah, and we let loose.
And we let loose.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we let loose in terms of drinking,
A little bit.
I got like massively cop blocked by one female who just would not give out.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
It was weird because she clearly knew the situation.
Yes.
Like,
and I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like that's all she was here for. There was a potential relationship to be made from this person.
Yeah, it's weird.
But obviously I wanted a bit of fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'd gone 3 months.
I mean, and that's kind of the route we're going down. I mean, she wasn't the only female that engaged with you or me.
Yeah, fortunately.
But, weird because She clearly knew the situation. It's like, do you want to come on to? I've got the house to myself.
Literally.
Yeah.
She were drinking with us.
Yeah.
You know, we were putting films on.
Yeah, it weren't 2-1 as well.
She stayed over.
Wasn't me as well.
Yeah, for context, he had about 10 different birds around.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she just won't give out. And in a way, looking back, I kind of respected it because there was a potential relationship to be made.
Yeah.
Didn't want to rush. However, I'd gone 3 months without sex and I was gagging.
So it's very much one of them situations where it's like stood in the kitchen and it's like, oh, text them birds.
Yeah, literally. Well, I think it was like within 10 days into the R&R, and she said, oh, I'm going to stay at home tonight. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Within minutes of her leaving the house, Adam, fucking find some women. We need to get some women round now.
It sounds disgusting on this day and age, doesn't it? And
yes.
like Me Too movement. But it's completely consensual, you know.
Yeah. And funny enough,
cover our backs, you know, but like...
Same night they came round.
Yeah.
We partied, we drunk.
We did. We had fun. And was that the night I don't want to say relieved you, because that's...
Gave me the seal of approval.
Seal of approval.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yes. So, for context, I've took this female upstairs. Yeah. And...
Female.
Currently...
Weird how you said that. It's like, she was female.
She was 100% female.
Took this girl upstairs.
So obviously I'm having my way with her. And I just remember, I didn't even hear you coming upstairs. No idea. And I just remember, I had her in doggy style.
Yeah. And I think it was like, do you two want a drink or something? I didn't hear anything.
This motherfucker.
I didn't suspect anything was going on.
Came upstairs to ask for a drink.
No, if you wanted them. Because I was drinking downstairs with whoever I was with. And then I was like, oh, do you guys want... And I opened the door. I was like, do you guys want the...
Look at me in the eyes.
Eye contact.
Whilst I've got this bird in front of me, bent over, full on doggy style, and he's looking me in the eyes.
In the eyes.
In the eyes.
And this is the sort of thing that only a brother can do.
And so we're looking at each other.
Yeah.
I've hands on the back, just looking at him.
And then I look, nod, and close the door.
Slowly, for effect, slowly close the door. As
if to say, I approve.
Yes. And I approved as well.
And then on a different occasion, don't know what was going through the girls' head, because they were both there. And you just finished with rattling another one. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, oh, chuck us this in bin. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally, I came out of the room. I think he come upstairs to the toilet and I was like, oh, just put this in bin for us, pal.
Yeah, no drama. Where is it? Oh, you, Johnny. Yeah, nice one.
Yeah. Took it fine. No issues. Yeah. Put it in the bin. Yeah. Now that is the definition of a fucking true friend.
That is friendship.
That is a true friend. And again, that is family shit. Wait.
Is it?
I mean, it sounded a little bit wrong there, yeah. But that's what you do.
Yeah. And, you know, we're 18 and ridiculous and probably showing off a little bit, but...
Yeah.
But we had a good time.
We had fun.
It
was great.
So, yeah. And then, obviously, since then, like I say, we've probably seen... We went for a period, probably saw a bit less of each other, didn't we?
Yeah.
Obviously, you had Bambino.
Yes.
I was off touring a lot, stuff like that. So it's been good to see a bit more of each other, and then we've got this podcast to do now as well. So we're probably actually going to find out a bit more about each other that even after 20 years we didn't know. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
And I'm pretty sure at some point of our life we actually had a fallout.
I remember one we had when we was younger,
but it kind of felt like it was a big fallout to the point where we almost stopped becoming friends.
Yeah.
Because I can't even remember what it was about.
No.
You know, looking back, I can't remember. But I just remember talking to our Jude. I remember ringing our Jude and texting our Jude.
My mum.
And just being like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, and she was just saying, look, come on. You both need to stop this.
Yeah.
You're like your brothers.
And I don't know what it was about.
I'm
glad I don't, to be honest, because it just seems ridiculous now.
No.
I remember when we were kids we had an argument because there was this one lad who just he was like the biggest bullshitter.
Yeah.
Don't know if he still like it, but he
yes.
He used to just make stuff up. I remember once, and bearing in mind I'm 12 or 13, and he was going around telling everyone that I was on Match.com. You know, like before Tinder, like you had Match.com where you had to log onto a computer, which I found out after. You know, like it's like, oh yeah, he's on Match.com, and people say, oh, you're on Match. I'm like, what even is it? Oh, it's the most random thing to make up about somebody. Like, oh, he's on Match.com. What would it matter if I was? But like, what kind of bullshit story is that? Mad. And then he because we'd been friends for a while at this point, probably a couple of years. Mm-hmm. So he's still like 13, and he said something that will really piss off a 13-year-old. He's like, comes up to me and says like, oh, Mountain says you're shit at football. Yeah. Or something like that. Yep. I was like, oh, why would he say that? Yep. And then he also said the same to me. Yeah. He was like, Adam says that you're wank at football and that he wants to fight you. Yeah. So he wanted to fight me. So naturally, I think probably the next day, you came down, ball under your arm, you know, walking down, and you're just like, what have you been saying about me then? And I was like, nothing. What have you been saying about me? And we like both realised in that moment, they're just like, yeah. This motherfucker. Yeah, it just was jealous. Utter shit. Yeah, and it's like, you know, like, and that happens. Sadly, even as you get older, doesn't it? Yeah, that's kind of shit happens when you're 30. You know, it's funny looking back when you're 13, but when it's, you know, but it's just like, why would you do that? Why would you say that? Why would you tell people on Match.com? It's the most random thing to make up. Why not say like, oh, he's into gay porn or something like that? Like, at least that's embarrassing. Yeah. Like, if you're not gay, like I'm not, but like Match.com. Yeah. When at the time MSN was the thing. MSN was the in thing. Lord, yeah. And I remember on the context of MSN, we came round to your house one day. We decided we weren't playing football today. I don't think it might be raining. And we decided to go on MSN. And I remember you just getting dead excited. And I was like, what? And you're like, this is girl. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to see boobies right now. This is girl, right? I'm going, yeah. And he's like, she's got the biggest tongue I have ever seen in my life. You've got to see this. I'm thinking like, oh man, she's going to have massive tits or something. Like, oh my God, we're going to see some boobs. No. Tongue. So I was like, obviously, as a kid, prove it. Let's get on MSN now. Get your tongue out, you dirty bitch. Get your tongue out. But so, obviously for content, I then had to stay out of the camera because this girl didn't know me. Yeah. She only knew you. So I had to stay out of the camera. So I'm sort of to the side of the camera. She can't see me. And you're going like, you know, trying to get her to, you're saying all these things, trying to get her to get her tongue out. And then she does finally get that tongue out. It's like Gene Simmons. Oh my goodness. It was long. Yeah. And she now is OnlyFans. And is she? I've no idea. I'm just joking. I was like, hit me up. It's just tongue photos. Yeah, there's no feet photos or tit photos, just tongue. Just tongue. There's some weird fetishes out there. Yeah, there is. I fucking wish I could just make on OnlyFans. Do you know what I mean? Like, just, it's the fucking, I'm not slagging anyone off in that industry, but it's just like photos and videos. It's easy. Like, realistically. Like, and again, it's easier for women. I know some blokes do it apparently, but fucking who's buying that? No, and this is what we're saying. Maybe I've had conversations about this sort of thing before. And the female body, there's a lot to find for a man to find sexual about it. Yeah, not even the obvious parts. You know, to look at a man, there's not. What is there? There's sexual attraction by looking at a man's body and etc. Dirty, smelly cock. You know. Yeah, I mean it's not even fucking pretty. You know what I mean? Who wants to look at it? No one. I don't want to look at it. Exactly. It's just his fucking thing just dangling. Yeah, it's weird. It's a strange industry, isn't it? Yeah. Like the whole thing, even up to like porn stars. It's just like I get fucked for a living. Yeah. You know. Oh, what you been doing today? No. Oh, rough day at the office, love. Yeah. Well, you might not gangbanged. Bye. Probably don't want to touch me for a week. Fucking there. Strange one, isn't it? But you know, whatever works for people. I'm kind of jealous that I'm not in that industry because I mean, it's such a great job, isn't it, for a bloke? Yeah. Like, you're not getting smashed in like a woman is. A bloke, you're just like fucking shagging and getting paid for it. Yeah, it's there. And it's a hobby. It's like a hobby becomes a hobby / job. Yeah, apparently some women don't enjoy it after, a while. I mean, it is just a job. But I find it hard how they have like relationships. Like some of them are married.
Yes.
And it's just like, it's just my job. And I was like, you've got to have a strong partner to put up with that shit.
Yeah.
That's like, I couldn't.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna get rattled by
Yeah. You
10
just
blokes today, and then
always
come home and like, what's for dinner?
You'd be overthinking all the time. Like when you finally then start having sex with your missus, you'd be thinking like, is she enjoying this? Is this good? Yeah. Is she faking? Did fucking
these questions can all be asked without the porn context.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's go into your sort of lifestyle. So started in 02. Well, Curry's 02.
Yeah. My first proper job, I suppose, was Wilco's warehouse wanker.
Yeah.
Because I was so desperate to get a job when I was a kid. Because I was at college. I was training to be a plumber, of all things. Sticking with the porn thing.
Yeah.
I was trained to be a plumber, and it was that time of life where recession was bad. There was no companies wanting to take people on, so I couldn't do my third year. So it was like wasted 2 years basically, straight into jobs and stuff. All around the same time as I was getting into bands and music. So I worked at Wilco's, which was one of the worst experiences of my life because it was just 12 hours of repetitive. Like I basically just, because I was kind of on agency, I think, and I'd be doing 12-hour shifts, and all I was doing was like filling lifts with cages for 12 hours. It's an awful job. And then I got into I went to Game at Christmas, Game Station.
Yeah, I gotta remember that.
Yeah. Then O2.
You can, and then the O2 was a job that you sort of stuck to for a long period.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Because you went through that period of sort of bouncing between jobs.
Yeah, because I was always trying to find that balance, and I finally got it. Of trying to be free enough to be a musician and do what you need to do for rehearsals and touring and that kind of stuff. Or that time, just playing local gigs, but they're trying to balance it between doing that and having a job. Still need the income because, believe me, even now music doesn't pay enough. So yeah, I did that. O2, I was there for a couple of years. Good banter at that place. It's good. There's a video on YouTube somewhere of us doing some stupid dance.
Yes. Wasn't it around like the Euros or World Cup?
2014 maybe. So yeah, there'd be the World Cup.
World Cup? No, Euros, wasn't it?
2014. That might have been a World Cup.
It might have.
But yeah, I mean, I'm a surveyor now, which is like the most non-rock and roll job ever. I mean, there is a little bit of rock and roll in it, I suppose, because I literally tour all over the place.
Yeah,
I'm literally going to Holland from the job soon. Been to Germany with it, and then like I'm in London a lot, or I'm all over the place.
I think you've near enough being top to bottom of the country.
100%. I've been, do Scotland, I do the South Coast and everything in between. I've been right down to the Isle of Wight as far as the UK is concerned. Been over to Ireland. Dublin is one of the best places I've ever been to in the world.
Still need to get that arranged.
Yeah, so we need to go to Dublin. The Guinness is better. If anyone says it's not, it is better. It ain't got to travel as far. And I love my Guinness. So, but yeah, that's me. And the whole time was trying to do the whole music thing, which obviously
cool. Started your first band, Shadow Shade.
Yeah, terrible name for a band. Shadow Shade. There's a Y in there. Figure that out. But that was the start of it. We only played sort of a few sort of local gigs.
Yeah, it was a good sort of way from an outsider looking at it. It was a good kickstart because you didn't have the hundreds of crowd, but you had enough to sort of get the feel for it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say my first proper band was probably The Lost Days. That's the one where we really kicked on. We started as like a cover band.
Yeah.
And then we started writing original songs. And then we even got up to like headlining the O2 in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Like in a small room, obviously. But that was an achievement. I've got the photo of it on my wall upstairs. Like, it was such like one of them moments. It was like, oh my God, I'm doing this.
Like, my band is on the front of the building. Yeah,
it's on the marquee of the O2 Academy. It was just, that was amazing. That was such a cool feeling. And then like since then, I started another band, like sort of out of the ashes of that, The Addiction. Our first gig was like in Newcastle, so that shows you like, first of all, Shadow Shade never left Worksop. And then The Lost Days, we did some cool things, and we headlined Sheffield and stuff like that, and we played a festival at Donington Park, which is, just to say you played at Donington Park was amazing.
Yeah.
And then out of that, The Addiction kicked on, and we started really strong. We went on tour with who's become a good friend of mine now, Marco Mendoza, who's been in Whitesnake and toured with Journey and all these kinds of things. And then, yeah, so like our first show was like Newcastle. It was straight on tour, straight away. And then I had the opportunity during COVID, was to join the Fallen State, which I've been in, which is getting close to, unbelievably close to being 4 years I've been in that band, which seemed like 2 minutes ago.
And to make that jump up from the Addiction to the Fallen State, like it must have been quite a jump to get used to.
It was. There's more pressure because the Addiction were my baby. You know, I sort of started that and I wrote the songs and yeah. So to go into a band where I was replacing someone who was like a popular figure, and it's the singer, so it's always the hardest to replace. Yeah. Because it's the voice, that's what people sing to. But it's good. Like, the fans accepted me really well. The tours we've done, you know, since then have been awesome. We wrote an album. It's the first album I'd ever done, and it's awesome. So proud of it. We've had a bit of a break, but we're potentially thinking. We were supposed to do a couple of shows in September, so they got cancelled because the headliner joined another band or something like that. So, which would have been cool. It's Tommy Vex, you know, who did from Bad Wolves, the cover of Zombie.
Yeah.
Like that got super popular.
It did.
So it would have been with him, which would have been cool. But yeah, a couple cancelled. So we might do something soon. I don't know, But yeah, it's that's me. I've stuck with the whole music thing this whole time. I've sacrificed probably decent opportunities just to be in a band, as a lot of people do anyway. You know, it's tough. But
and obviously you're missing out quite a vital part of the change, because you was the front man and also a guitarist, and you gave up the guitar to become just a soul singer. Yeah,
which is weird, because like, what the fuck do you do with your hands? I'd always been the one that played guitar and sang, you know, because I was like, my big heroes were like James Hetfield and stuff like that. And then it was just like, fucking, what the hell do you do with your hands while you just got one, you know, one's on a microphone? And then I got used to it, but like, it was so weird. You felt like being naked. Yeah, really weird. So, but yeah, did that. And I love it now. But I sometimes did in the old band, like put the guitar down for like one or two songs, because I always liked to be like the showman, the entertainer sort of thing.
He's always wanted to be the showman, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I'm quite introverted, I think. But it's like, as soon as I get on stage, I'm like the biggest extrovert. But like, it's weird. I think a lot of musicians are like that. Yeah, like sort of quiet. It's kind of quiet people, and then they got on stage and they're just like let it all out, sort of thing. It's a bit like
it's
me,
just a showman coming out to you.
Yeah. I mean, that took some years to unlock as well, because I remember having stage fright when I first started, and it was fucking terrifying. And you just think, what are you scared of? Because most people here, 95% of the people here, have never even been on a stage, or like, but they're quick to judge, but like, I've never done it, and they don't understand like what it takes to do it. And the fucking nerves got hold of me really bad to start with, and now I don't even think about it. Like, one of the best shows I ever played was at the O2 Institute at Birmingham. Packed out room, and I remember just being stood backstage. All the lads all walk on stage before me in the Fallen State. As our intro music's playing, they all go and plug the guitars in, get sat behind the drums, that sort of thing. And then I come out, because all I've got to do is walk up to my microphone. And I remember being stood there, they've just walked out, and I'm looking at this door that's at the side of the stage, and I just had this moment of realisation. It's like, this is it. This is what I'm doing it for, to play fucking gigs like this. Like, almost like one of those defining moments, like, this is what it's all built up to, you know, like, this is what you're doing it for. And I know it's not the fucking arena, but it was like, you know, 1,500 people or something. Yeah. So fucking just, I was like, yeah, go out and own it. Fucking just strutted to the front of the stage. I'm like, fucking, this is me.
Did you think you fucking killed it?
It was a good show, actually. Still one of the best shows I've played, I think. But I've found as well that sometimes the bigger shows have been better. Not got any nerves. I don't get nervous anymore at all. I just feel like sometimes the bigger shows, you just live up to them a bit more. You probably just, I don't know if you find another gear somewhere, but yeah. I mean, I find it easier to play a show like that than playing in a coffee shop with an acoustic guitar to 20 people. Yeah, that's hard. That is being naked in front of people. Yeah. But I just feel like, you know, playing a couple of thousand. I did a festival where there was about 4,000 there and stuff like that, and it's just like, it's just people. But like, if you're just in a room and it's just like you and a guitar and there's, you know, 15, 20 people watching, that's fucking terrifying. Yeah. That's even more scary, which is weird. I just don't know. You probably feel like exposed. You ain't got your bandmates to sort of.
It's a bit more personal.
It is really personal, and it does feel like you just sat there naked. It's really weird, but yeah, I fucking love it. I'm missing not being on tour at the minute, so I can't wait to get back involved. However that is, can't wait to go back on tour. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, that's. I mean, fucking my jobs are too boring. I mean, the army's cool to talk about, but my jobs are too fucking boring. So yeah, we'll talk.
I don't know.
We'll talk about the music, like, but yeah. So we're pretty deep into this podcast now. To be fair, so we've got a segment. I thought we could do. You've picked us up a couple of papers, and I thought what we could do, like old men with newspapers, is probably like just find a story, like. But the small stuff.
The small print.
Yeah, the small print, right? What's what we call this segment, the small print.
The small print.
And it's like, I just think you don't get these like sort of small stories on like your Sky News app or stuff like that. And I just thought it'd be interesting to just see what kind of stupid stories or like, or something that might be just interesting that you can find in a paper. So what have we got here? I've got the Mirror. I've got the Mirror. What have you got?
I've got the Daily Express.
Yeah. So... It's not. I picked something out a little bit earlier. I thought could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird to have a paper. I feel like my granddad.
I know. Like his wife was watching us earlier, and we're reading through the paper, and she's like, "I'm getting the ick." Yeah, it's like my husband is giving me the ick.
My wife is disgusted. I'm sat here like an old man. Two of us sat there like old men. Like, oh fucking hell! Have you seen?
I was looking straight at the Sudoku.
There's no page 3 in this either. That's not fun.
I know, yeah. Could have picked a better one. I have to apologise. Your turn next week.
The Daily Sport next time.
Yes.
All right. So, what have you got? What have you found? Because I found something.
Well, I'll let you go head first.
Okay.
And I'll flick to mine what I picked out earlier. But I'll let you go ahead and read yours.
Okay. I found this interesting because it's not long gone. Bonfire night. I was watching a series called Gunpowder. I watched a couple of times actually. It's all about Guy Fawkes, Gunpowder Plot, Robert Catesby and all that kind of stuff. And found this in here, and it said, copy of King James I's speech after Fawkes' plot. So it's a rare copy of a speech King James I gave to the MPs 5 days after Guy Fawkes' foiled gunpowder plot has been found by a collector. And I found that interesting because not only is that his first speech after nearly being assassinated in what we would call today a terror attack, it says that Andrew Wright, among his library of 20,000 books. Who's got 20,000 books apart from a fucking library?
Insane.
20,000 books. What are they about? You can't read 20,000 books in your life.
No. They're just for show. He's a posh twat.
Yeah.
Look at me, I have loads of books.
He's one of them knobheads that goes on Sky News and he's got a bookshelf behind him. Like, look at me, I'm so interesting. I've got 1 million.
I'm so intelligent.
20,000 books. What the fuck are they about? So he's saying he's watching a documentary about the Gunpowder Plot of the weekend and noticed there was no mention of his speech. So he's got this thing with King James's speech in it. That's interesting because I've been watching the Gunpowder stuff. But the thing that's really got me there is 20,000.
Like, bro, watch fucking Netflix.
Get a fucking telly, boy.
Like, what are you doing, you boring bastard?
It's just a bit fucking sad. I mean, I find the Gunpowder Plot like really interesting. Like I don't think I went to like bonfire night and stuff, but I don't think people necessarily know what it's all about.
No,
like, it's not even called Guy Fawkes Night anymore. It's just bonfire night. It went until like a couple of years ago that I realised that Guy Fawkes was basically just the guy that had lit the gunpowder, or was going to light the gunpowder, and there's basically a guy called Robert Catesby who was the guy that sort of did it. And put it all together because of religious intolerance, and we're still seeing that today. That's 400 years ago, and it was like basically they wanted to blow it up because Catholics were getting prosecuted and murdered horrendously because they wanted to practice their own religion. Fuck, religion is so fucking stupid, man. To me, like, I just think it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, if you want to fucking believe in whatever you want, that's fine. But it's just like fucking hell. Like, why were you prosecuting people for like praying? They weren't like trying to take over the fucking. I mean, they were in the end, but they weren't trying to like harm anybody. Like there was killing priests. They had these things called priest holes where they hid them from sight of people who would just take them to the fucking gallows, hang, drawn, and quartered. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking ridiculous. But this cunt has got 20,000 books.
That's mad. Oh my God. I think how many books have I got? Probably 9.
I mean, I've got some books. I like biographies. Like, so I've got like a lot of musicians' biographies, some Formula One drivers and stuff like that. There aren't 20,000 subjects.
No. And I think out of my 9 books, 4 or 5 of them are Harry Potter.
Yeah, there'll be, if you've got all of them, you'll have 7.
No, I did have, but I've lost 1 or 2, I think.
Okay. Well, I've even got the Beadle the Bard. You know, the stories from, yeah. I've even got that. So I've got like 8, maybe 9 Harry Potter books. But I've got those. I've got like, so I've probably got like, in total, maybe 40 books.
Have you?
Probably something like that. But 20,000 is so many.
You're not reading them.
This never getting through. I mean, like, is he using them for reference?
Has he even
he's got
bought
like
them?
Encyclopedias, or is he just gone a bit too far at a car boot sale?
He's one of those who's gone to at supermarkets. They have books out there, aren't there? And he's literally just gone there and picked a fucking tray up of books. I'm going to take these home. They're now mine. I just want to be looking like I'm intelligent.
Maybe he just had high ambitions to be a librarian.
Maybe he actually has.
Library ain't got 20,000 books.
No, because
think how many 20,000 books is.
I mean,
think how many 1,000 books is.
Don't libraries now have computers in anyway?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Right.
Get with the fucking program, boy.
Come on, 20,000 is a bit too much.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely.
So what have you got?
Okay, so I tried flicking through, and a lot of it was actually not really interesting. But I did come across this, and it's literally just a little read. But I thought it was incredible. Incredible. And I'll get you why. So basically, it says, Paraskier in Pole Bid. An ex-army officer aims to be the first disabled person to ski solo and unsupported to the South Pole. He had a stroke 10 years ago, and his name is Johnny Huntington, 38 years old, and he's paralysed from the neck down on his left side. He's a former GB Paranordic team skier. He faces a 566-mile, 40-day trip, pulling 242 pounds on a sled behind him. And it says, Johnny of Kingsbridge from Devon, who sets off today, said it would be unaided and was the ultimate test. Now, I didn't actually realise he set off today. Now, I want to keep an eye on this, because that is insane. To have a stroke and be fully paralysed from the left side, neck down, to do 566 miles.
Is he not just going to go around in a circle? Just fucking
he is unaided. But, I mean, that's incredible.
That's amazing.
But where's he starting off? Where's he starting?
Well, it's got to be...
Because
he's going where?
It says here... to ski solo and unsupported to the South Pole.
To the South Pole. So he's got to be on the continent then.
Is it from Devon?
It's more than 500 miles, isn't it?
Is he skiing from Devon? I mean, good luck skiing over water.
Yeah, so he's got to be on the South. He's got to be on the continent, hasn't he?
Literally, he must be. He must be.
I didn't think you can go to the South Pole.
No, you can.
Oh.
I think you can.
I thought it was...
No, you can't go to the North Pole because that's where Santa is.
No, Top Gear have been to the North Pole.
Yeah.
I don't think you can go to the South Pole because there was some secret thing going on there. Like, I thought it was like some... might be an episode we get into with conspiracies maybe. But yeah, but I think there's some sort of military testing or something like that. And
Possibly.
I thought that's why you couldn't go there. But obviously, if this guy's going there, fair enough.
Possibly. But do you know what? I mean, if he does it, then the guy's superhuman.
That's amazing.
That is... Even for a able-bodied man or woman,
I couldn't do that with all full operating limbs. You know, but like, it makes you wonder why people do stuff like that.
Well,
do you know what I mean? Like, why he's gone through that?
I mean, that's extreme. I get it in some sense of the word because, like, going off personal experiences. Obviously, I did a charity boxing fight and I've done the Tough Mudder, and I wanted to sort of push myself.
You were fucking robbed.
Yeah, that's a sore subject. Sore subject.
No, like, you know, with people who've got like severe disabilities or you know, like, it makes you wonder why they fucking do this to themselves. Like, you got to admire it, but it's just like, why are you doing that? Like,
yeah, I mean,
fucking crazy.
Are they doing it because they want to be known for something?
I don't know. It's only small news, isn't it?
Like,
it's not like it should be big news.
If a man or woman that was able-bodied did this, it would be brilliant. Like, congratulations, this is massive. It's fucking brilliant. But to be completely paralysed on the left side and doing it unaided, like, if he does it, then kudos to you.
Yeah,
and
hell, yeah.
I'm actually going to make a note of that, and I'm going to try and keep on top of his progress.
Definitely.
And, you know, in 40 days' time, we might be sat here going, this motherfucker has literally done it. This motherfucker has done it.
Guy that's paralysed on one side of his body has dug a fucking big hole in Devon.
He's made it to the centre of the earth.
Fucking hell. No, fair play to him. I hope he does it.
Yeah, fair play. What's his name again? I've forgotten. What's his name? I've just had it. Is it Johnny? Johnny of Kingsbridge, Devon. Fair play to you. Hope it goes well.
Shout, mate. Yeah.
We're keeping on atop of it.
Good luck.
So, good luck, sir.
So, I think that about does it for his first episode. That was fun. It was good. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
So, we'll have to do it again.
We're definitely going to do it again. I can't wait to go already.
I know. So, you know, next time we'll talk about a different subject. Obviously, today was like a bit of a, you know, get to know who we are sort of thing. But we're going to go deep into some other subjects. I think the next one will be really fun. And then, we've got a few planned. So, welcome to my channel.
Stay tuned.
Like and subscribe. And
feel free to leave comments, feedback.
Yeah, we also want stories.
Yes.
So if you've got any interesting stories, funny stories, or if you've got anything that you just want advice on, we've got, you know, do an agony Adam. Something like that. Like, we'll do our best to...
we'll put our input on your personal circumstance as well.
Yeah, and if you want to remain anonymous, you can do.
Yeah. Sometimes it's nice to hear an opinion of an anonymous person.
Yeah. But we want some juicy stories.
With any funny, like dark, to an extent.
Yeah, and
we don't.
If you want to remain anonymous, that's absolutely fine. You'll be able to get us on as socials, Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to email, it's the A and M Hangout at gmail.com. I'll put it in the comments. So that's us for the first episode. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.
Peace out.